What job is nowhere near as glamorous as the media wants us to think? Welcome to Reddit Rundown. Today, we will share again one of the top relatable posts in Reddit's Ask Reddit. Zookeeper. Very little of it is playing with animals, low pay, no holidays off, hard work, and it's smelly as all hell. To the point where depending on which animals you work with, you can barely date anyone outside of the industry because of how much you reek. Working in live entertainment. Most of the industry runs on a part-time and contingent workforce. You pretty much never stop working and you get one of those full-time jobs. The hours are long and the year is broken up into working 70 hours a week or not being busy at all and being broke because of it. I work at a marine mammal rescue center in Alaska. I do enjoy it, but boy howdy, is it ever the opposite of glamorous. Way grosser than I thought it'd be, despite the warnings. In our first week of training, I remember being warned multiple times, never inhale while approaching a sea lion from the front. Their breath will knock you out, and they belch a lot. There's a reason lawyers and doctors apparently have higher rates of substance abuse. Lawyers get free clay training for drug abuse, alcohol, and depression. And year one of law school is all about not unaliving yourself, at least for millennials. I think older generations were like, snap it, less competition. Chef. People watch Top Chef and think our job involves creating beautiful, delicious new dishes all day. My job is 80% menial prep work, 10% wrangling my staff to do the rest of the cooking or dealing with owners and whatever new idea they had that I need to translate into reality, 9% dealing with distributors and ordering in general, and like 1% making stuff up. And then there's whenever some cook can't work and I need to cover their line shift, which is every other week at least. Catering. The end result is beautiful trays full of delicious food that will be demolished in less than an hour. Food that you spent days preparing. I once spent hours in a walk-in prepping an ice cream mousse whipped cream dessert. If it was left out, it would melt. Then it had to be served at once before it turned into a puddle. We just ignored people who waved it off and said bring it back in 10 minutes because we're talking 300 desserts. Ain't got time for that. Bouncer on TV are freaking Hercules. Indestructible, win every fight. They usually punctuate a scene by destroying someone by throwing them in the street on their butt. But after years of listening to every drunk old-timer tell you back in the day stories till your ears bleed, I'm over it. Every drunken Sally throwing themselves at you to catch an STD. I'm over it. Getting hurt in fights. Over it. Smelling like beer when you haven't had a drop. Over it. Meeting people you have no future with. Over it. Having regulars die from their addict lifestyle. Over it. Being the party pooper. Over it. Trying to poop in a bar bathroom. It's so scary. But hey, at least I'm a tough guy. Right? I love it, and I wouldn't trade this job for the world. But it's a lot of work, and it's rarely glamorous. There's the writing itself being productive, even when I don't feel like it, revising, etc. And there's the business side of things. Dealing with publishers or handling all the aspects of publishing independently, marketing, etc. TV and movies make it seem like we're all sitting in coffee shops with the muse on speed dial, or we're pounding away at an antique typewriter in a fancy office we paid for with our giant advances. Maybe some people do it that way, but most of the writers I know are sitting at home in our pajamas and trying not to get distracted by social media while our books, which can be jerks, refuse to write themselves. At conferences and signings, a lot of us are introverts thrust way out of our element and hoping we don't say something stupid. It's a fun job, and the worst day as a writer is better than the best day I ever had at a day job, but glamorous, lol, not so much. From what I hear, lawyer. If you watch Law and Order you'd think it's all people in fancy suits dramatically screaming, "Objection, Your Honor," followed by an Oscar award-winning speech. Truth is 90-something% of their job is boring paperwork and courtrooms are not nearly as exciting as TV makes them out to be. Working in a lab, it's boring, the pay is balls, and it tends to attract some really anal retentive types with no social skills. Anything military, you're either getting shot at, yelled at, cleaning something, or bored as hell, and trying not to fall asleep so that one of the other three things doesn't happen to you. For anyone reading this and thinking they're better off not working, that sucks too. We're all screwed. Edit. Except if you were rich beforehand. So from what I'm reading, no job is as glamorous as it seems. Anything in the medical field. I have multiple family members who work in the medical field. They tell me that before the pandemic, being short-staffed and overworked was a regular problem. After the pandemic, it became much, much worse. I don't envy anyone who works in medicine, especially not nurses. Nurses get the worst of it. Even worse than nurses are the medical assistants due to many of the same problems as nurses, but none of the decent pay. I'm a resident doctor, get paid just over $3 an hour to be on call for 26 hours, responsible for an entire hospital floor of sick people. Would be nice if more people recognized just how overworked and underpaid even the doctors are though. Any job where you have to travel. Oh, you get to travel for work. You probably get to see so many cool new places. Yeah, not really. First off, you're probably taking a red-eye flight and getting into your hotel at PM at night. Your company wants to get their money's worth for sending you to that town, so you'll likely have a 60-hour week ahead of you, obligated to eat meals with coworkers. Hopefully, they're good conversationalists. Most companies aren't going to put you up in a fancy hotel, probably Holiday Inn or the like. And of course, traveling can be very lonely. Advertising. They make it look like creatives stare out the window waiting for a bolt of inspiration. Vet tech. All these young girls that want to be one need to look up what anal glands are. Firefighting. Most of the time it's boring, cleaning equipment, or training. The actual work is dangerous, dirty, hard, and traumatic. Having to tell a 6-year-old that both their parents were in that burned-out mobile home certainly isn't glamorous. I didn't have to do it. It was a mutual aid call in a neighboring town, so their chief had to break the news. I was on the search pair that found the dad. Modeling. I have seen one of my children in this career, and although they have had some amazing experiences, it's such a hard career choice. From keeping weight down by literally starving themselves to the long hours, it is nowhere near as glamorous as people think. This is Reddit Rundown. If you are new here, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Thanks for watching.